What is up, Aurelia?
Hello, Dr. John. I'm a little nervous, so
Oh, I'm really nervous. It's all
uh,
good. We'll be nervous together. It's good.
yeah, I never thought I would be talking to you.
I didn't think I would talk
Um,
to you. Did I say your name correctly?
yeah, you did actually a lot better than a lot of Spanish speakers, so I'm glad.
Gracias, amiga. All right, go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna start with my question because I think it will make me feel a little easy on. Um, I want to know how can I identify the root of my anger, like, and how can I resolve a conflict that I had with my ex-boyfriend? Let me tell you a little bit more. So about a month ago, um, we had gone out with some friends, went to a concert, and it was pretty, like, let's say, relaxed the majority of the time. We decided to go to a nightclub. So we went in there, and I asked him for his phone. So I was like, "Can you let me see your phone because I want to take a picture?" Mind you, by these, like, we both have been drinking, like, maybe a little more than what we should have. So he gave me his phone, and before I can take a picture or anything, I noticed a text, or let's say, like, one of the apps, I think it was WhatsApp, a name of a girl. So I asked him, "Who's this person? Who is it?" He wouldn't answer. He just kind of stayed quiet and looked at me. So I asked him again, like, I want to say two or three times. He would not respond. So I just go ahead and give his phone back. I went towards my friends and I told them, I think he's cheated on me. That's that's it. Then we went a little bit more through the night, and I was just about to leave the nightclub. Like, it was just, you know what? Let's go. I don't want to be here anymore. So my friend and actually my sister, one of my sisters was with me. I told them, let's go. So when I was going down the stairs, and this is so strange, like, I literally looked at him and I went for him. Like, I went at him and I told him again. I asked him again who it was. He wouldn't answer again, and I literally started hitting him,
Mm.
like hitting him, like trying to punch him, like my fist. Like, it wasn't, I'm gonna slap you. Like, I went towards him, like I charged at him. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously my sister and my friend, they went after me and they were like, "No, let's, like, stop these. This cannot. Come on, don't do this." So we ended up getting out of the club. He went after me, and I don't know where he ended up. Like, until next morning.
Wait, you said he
Um,
went after you. Did he hit you back?
no, 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 not at
Okay.
all. He
Okay.
actually didn't even try to defend himself. He probably, like, just trying to get out
Okay.
of there, you know. So when when I saw that he wasn't there anymore, so he texted me, "You know what? This is it. We're not gonna be together anymore. You're not gonna do this anymore." Trying to say that I was being jealous, that I was being weird, that I was being like this, that I was being like that.
Mhm.
So I was like, "What is going on? You know, why is this happening?" And then I was like, "Okay, I get it. Like, I understand what he means." Like, and I decided just text him back, "Okay, you're not gonna, like, cheat on me again." Um, so the next morning, I went towards his house, or I went to his house, and I talked to him, but he's just, "You know what? No, I don't want nothing to do with you. This is it." And we had been together for 4 years.
Do y'all have any kids together?
No, no,
Okay.
no. I have three kids of my own.
Okay.
He has one, but he's, like, it's already 20.
Okay.
Mine are 17, 9, and 8.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't.
Do y'all
Yeah,
live together?
no, we don't.
Okay. Um. So there's a couple of different questions here. One is, what does life look like for you after you put your hands on somebody? Right? Like, what does life look like for you after you physically assault somebody that you love? The second thing is what does life look like for you after you are gaslit in a pretty remarkable way? Because if he's cheating on you, he's already out of this relationship as you know it. The third thing is you've probably known this for a long time. And
Okay.
there's a gap there, and it begins to backfill. Some people backfill that gap, that distance between them and their partner when they know there's something there. Some people backfill that gap by creating their own little universe. Some people backfill that gap with sadness, like with hanging on. And some people backfill that gap with rage and anger. There's so many different factors that play into that. How people grew up, genetics, all those kind of things. But it sounds like there was almost a vacuum that got filled up and up and up. Does that excuse your behavior one bit? Not even one iota. You can't put your hands on other people. You can't assault people. That's abuse, right? You know that.
Yeah.
But your relationship as you knew it was already not what you're pretending it actually was. Fair?
Yeah. Well,
has he cheated on you before?
No. And I think that's where my conflict, me wanting to resolve the conflict comes, because I actually never like caught him cheating or anything. So when I asked him who it was, he wouldn't answer or whatever. But then next morning he showed me. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna show you this, but it's just only for me." He told me that. And I was like, "Okay." So he pulls out his phone and he shows me the message. Like, it's somebody from school, and you can see the messages where like, "Hi, how you doing? I wanted to see if you can do me a favor." And his answer was like, "Oh, hi, how you been doing?" And that was it. Like, there was nothing else after that.
So could it be that you were drunk and you overreacted in a pretty significant way?
Yes, and it bugs me.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted to be somebody to do that, because I was in an abusive relationship for over 13 years with my kid's dad. And I never wanted to be an aggressor to anybody.
Sure.
And this is like literally killing me inside, because from there, like my anxiety went up, like everything has just,
of course,
going all over the place. Like, obviously I didn't try to reach out anymore. I just this whole month I've been just letting him be. I haven't nothing, just because I don't wanna like gaslight or like do something else that he just feel like that, like just stop, just even make me feel even worse than what I already feel.
Sure. Well, I think your feelings right now are right. I think they're right. You became somebody that you swore you would never become. You've been on the other end of the pain you just caused somebody. And so I think the feelings of guilt and of shame and of sadness are right. I think avoiding those isn't the right path forward. I think the right path forward is right through the middle of them. And the question you have to answer, which goes back to the very first thing you asked me, is how do you deal with that anger that's inside? Where's that coming from? Is it coming from a fear of loneliness? Is it coming from exhaustion? Is it coming from just some rage on some other issues that you've got to deal with? Maybe you haven't fully grieved your first marriage and why that guy did that to you. Like, whatever it happens to be, you have to decide, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And you can't do it to try to win this guy back to you. You have to do it because you believe you're worth it. And have you listened to my show before?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
So you know that I'll tell you the truth. You may have burned this relationship to the ground with one night of drunken rage. And if that's the case, you have to be not at peace with that, but you have to own that reality. And then what you have to do is commit yourself to dealing with that anger and rage. And it might be for you, I don't go to nightclubs. It might be for you, I don't drink more than one drink at a time because I become somebody I don't want to become. Or whatever the actions have to be in place upstream so you get a hold of this.
Okay.
But if you go trying to grovel and duct tape over this relationship, you're just going to duct tape over the pain and the anger and the rage. I just find it really hard to believe that after 4 years, everything's going great. One night, somebody texts him on an app that is notorious for its ability to be secret.
Yeah.
And he won't just go in a club. What? Because the music's playing really loud. And he goes, dude, it's somebody from school asking for an assignment. Why he wouldn't do that, I don't know. And I do believe, I don't use WhatsApp, but I think you can selectively delete. So who knows what was originally there.
Yeah.
But it is strange that he wouldn't show you. And also, it's completely unacceptable that you go put your hands on him and be physically violent with him. Right?
Yeah, and that's where I cannot, I don't know how to put it. Like, I cannot just come at peace with that. Like, not at peace. Like, probably just have the total acceptation that I just messed that up. Like, because 4 years together, and we had gone like up and down and everything. And I want to say most of the stuff is because our lows. It has been because me being jealous. And it's a weird, thing, because I would have never considered myself jealous. Like, never. I don't want to say until we got to this relationship, but from the beginning I thought, okay, he's a really good guy. He did really, really well with my kids. It's like my kids have asked me for him, like they miss him, But it's kind of like strange for me to where like I felt like I had some type of stability and protection, and then I will have these insecurities of, well, he might just get with someone that doesn't have 3 kids, or
did you ever talk to him about that?
I did.
Did you ever tell him I feel exposed and insecure? After 4 years, can we get married? Did you ever ask him those questions?
I did one time, and he told me, he's like, well, if you don't change these ways, like, of you always trying to, like, figure out if I'm with another girl, this and that, after I told you no, and after I tried, he's like, how can we get married and just end up bad? He told me, he's like, what I don't want is end up in a divorce, like, at all. Like, so I was like, okay.
Well, and
kind of like
what did you do after that? Because that's well, there's two sides to this. One is, again, he's gaslighting you so bad, right? And he's seeing other people, and your body knows it, and he's making you feel crazy. That happens often. The other side of it is, he's a pretty evolved man. He's able to say what he wants out loud and what he needs out loud. And for him to say, I need you, we can't get married unless you trust me. And everything I'm doing on a daily basis shows you that I'm trustworthy. Here's my phone. Here's these messages. Now, maybe that one night when y'all both been drinking in the middle of a nightclub, he didn't, but I don't know what else you want to see. But if it's like this every day, I can't enter into a marriage with somebody who doesn't trust me. And you said, okay, and you beat yourself up a little bit. But did you go talk to a counselor?
I didn't until like all of this happened.
Okay.
Like it was, yeah. So I started therapy, I want to say literally 3 days after like
Good.
all this started. Like,
and you're slowly starting to peel back some layers. Did your previous husband cheat on you?
Yes.
Did your dad cheat on your mom?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Your jealousy comes from a right place. Every GPS pin your body has in romantic relationship has somebody committing infidelity. So your body's response to love, to be weary of it, is right. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you going to trust again? And if you're not going to trust again, then don't drag another person into a relationship. If you are going to trust again, you have to be willing to get hurt again. Because that's what vulnerability and connection is. See what I'm saying? Like, if you just came and said, hey, my dad cheated on my mom all the time. My previous husband of 13 years beat me up and cheated on me all the time. Now I've got this new guy, and he's wonderful. I love him. My kids love him. and I feel jealous all the time, I would tell you, you're exactly right. You should. And here's what we're going to do. But you've been walking around thinking that you're broken. You're not broken. Your body knows what happens when people love each other. Somebody gets cheated on. And then you meet a guy who says, dude, I would never do that to you.
It has been, every time he would tell me, like, I would think, like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because you don't think you're worth that. Because your last husband showed you that you weren't worth that. Your dad showed your mom she wasn't worth that. But until you believe you're worth being loved and that you're worth being in a long-term relationship where people don't cheat on each other, until you believe you're worth that, you're always going to hold somebody else responsible for how you quote-unquote feel. And that's not his job. His job is to do right by you and to honor you and to honor your kids if he's entering into this relationship with you. See what I'm saying? And it sounds like he was doing that. And if you have some very specific needs, so for instance, if you sat him down after year one and said, hey, this happened to my mom, this happened to me, I have a tendency to get I get pretty anxious around trust. At some point, I'm going to ask you, like, I just need to see your phone. Know that that's more about me than it is about you. And if he's in, he'll go, well, you can see my phone anytime. I don't care. But if you don't have that question, you don't have that conversation and let him know. For me, especially early on in my marriage, I had some real big abandonment issues. And so I told my wife, hey, it's just a big deal. Because she would see a text come from me and she would think in her mind, when I have some time to fully invest in this text, I'm going to respond. It would make me really get skittish. And I sat down and said, hey, it's important to me if you just respond and say, not a good time, I love you. And she started doing that and it was awesome. But I had to speak it out. Otherwise, I walked around all day blaming her for my issue. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
So I'm glad.
And I think that's...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that's one of the biggest things for me because my communication skills aren't that good.
I don't believe that. I don't want you to say that they're not that good. I want you to say, I choose not to be open and vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those things when you say, nobody's going to do it to me again. Like, it's like a shield, and it just, it makes things worse.
It keeps you safe, but that safety destroys any other relationships you're going to have. Right?
Yeah.
And so here's a couple of paths forward for you. Number one, you're doing the right thing. I'm glad you're talking to somebody because you've got some deep scars and some deep hurt. Okay?
Yeah.
And if at some point you need to go spend some time in an anger management course, or an anger management with a group, then go do that. Do whatever you have to do to have peace in your home. And that starts with peace in your heart, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you something that's mean for me to say, but I'm telling it to you because I love you, okay?
Okay.
This is bigger than you and this boyfriend of 4 years. Your children are absorbing an angry, angry mom. And they are going to try to solve that for themselves too. And that's not their job. Okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Their job is not to make sure mom doesn't get mad. Okay? Their job is to be little knuckleheaded kids. Actually, your kids are older. But some of them are younger. Your 8, 9-year-old, they're just knuckleheaded kids. They're supposed to be knuckleheaded kids. Mom is supposed to be the one who's stable. Okay? So that means it's your job to go get to the root of that rage. And I guarantee it goes back to your childhood. I guarantee it goes back to your abusive relationship in your marriage and all of that. And you can unwind that. And in the day-to-day life, you can practice, I'm feeling angry again. Here's the 2 or 3 things I need to go do. And you and your counselor can work those things out in particular. Okay? It's going to be something you practice. This is a new way of being. Here's the second thing. You can ask your ex-boyfriend if he'll go to lunch with you or to breakfast with you. Just go out. And the whole conversation has to begin with, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay? And if you haven't ever laid it out, my dad beat up and cheated on my mom. My previous husband beat up and cheated on me. And so I've been living with this fear that it's going to happen again and again and again because it's all I know. And then I met you, and you're pretty wonderful, but I held you responsible for something inside of me, and I'm sorry. I've been in counseling for a month. Will you give me another shot? And he may say no.
Yeah.
Also, you need to be clear, I will never, ever put my hands on you or anybody else ever again, period.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes. Yeah, because I had never hit my kids. It's just something I can't, it's just...
I know. It was rage, but you're lucky you didn't go to jail, right?
Yeah.
And if the roles were reversed, I would tell you, don't be with the guy that does that. And if he were to call me, I would tell him, don't be with the woman who hits you, period.
Yes.
I would tell him that same thing, right? So the choice moving forward for you is, I got to do an overhaul. The overhaul starts with you, and it has to be for you. And ultimately, you got to get to that ticker tape that says, it's going underneath the story of your life, not worth being loved, worth getting cheated on, worth getting hit, because that's a lie. It's not true. But until your body believes that, until you believe that, these things are going to keep replaying themselves in new relationships all the time. They're going to replay themselves in your kids. So the work is just, I'm stopping this now, forever. And he may be done. Like I said, he may be done, but maybe not. But the work's going to be with you. Thank you for calling. I'm really grateful that you opened up and told the truth and put it all out there. That's hard. It's hard. I wish you the absolute best moving forward. You call me anytime, okay?